So Janet,
Maybe you.
I'm Kazuo. Let me introduce myself. We are running. Oh, sorry, here.
Okay.
Anti-aging journal.
Okay.
We have anti-aging society in Japan. We have 8,000 membership.
Uh-huh.
And bi-monthly that we publish the anti-aging journal, and at the front page we interview the distinguished researcher.
I see. Mm-hmm.
And since you are the leader of this aging of the retina, that I like to interview you today.
Okay.
So the audience are the physician, not ophthalmologist is only 5%,
Okay.
and the dentist, nurses,
Yeah.
and the researcher.
Okay.
But most of them are physicians.
Okay. Okay.
So thank you very much for your time. I learned from your work that you are focusing on the lipofuscin, the aging of the retina, and also related to the blue light.
Right.
So would you please briefly explain the current your interest and research?
Okay. So the lipofuscin of the retina, which accumulates in retinal pigment epithelial cells, but actually forms in photoreceptor cells. It's an unusual relationship that is not common to other lipofusins.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the physician, I'd like to explain. Photoreceptor is a layer which receives the light.
Right. And the retinal pigment epithelial cells are adjacent cells that
supporting cells.
supporting cells carry out many functions for the
Right.
photoreceptor cell.
Yeah.
And so this material forms in photoreceptor cells, and it's transferred secondarily to retinal pigment epithelial cells. And it's an unusual material because it forms from reactions of vitamin A aldehyde. And it's the vitamin A aldehyde that is our light-absorbing pigment in photoreceptor cells.
Lipofuscin, in the simple word, is the aging-related accumulation in the retina, and it's a bad guy.
And it's a bad guy, yeah. Now there are lipofuscins that form in other cells, like cells of the liver and some certain neurons, but they're
With aging also?
yeah, but they have a different composition. It's not the same material. The lipofuscin of retina is unusual in being vitamin A aldehyde derived.
I see.
And the other thing important about the lipofuscin of retina is that these are light sensitive compounds, unlike the lipofusins elsewhere. And the fact that they're light sensitive is significant because the retina is exposed to light. So there's a lot of opportunity for damaging light mediated processes.
I see.
And these cells and these compounds can elicit these.
And what is a good part of lipofuscin? What does it do?
I don't think, my view is that it doesn't do anything. It doesn't really have any good purpose. It doesn't do anything worthwhile. It's just a byproduct of the constant cycling of vitamin A aldehyde.
So this is just a sign of aging,
Just
and
a sign,
it's not doing a very
Right.
bad.
It doesn't have a positive function at all.
Okay.
And photoreceptor cells have probably adopted a way to get rid of it so it didn't affect them. They shuttled it off to RPE cells, and for many decades it seems that the retinal pigment epithelial cells can handle it fairly well for a few decades, and then eventually it just becomes it's damaging, probably through light exposure, and then there are the consequences associated with aging.
Several months ago in United States, there's a lot of news media reporting blue light is very bad and blue light can lead you blind or something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mass media.
Yeah.
So why it happened?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't say blue light is going to make you blind. But just like we protect our eyes from UV light,
Right.
with UV blockers. So what I would recommend is if you're going to wear sunglasses,
Right.
filter out the blue also, and blue light is filtered by yellow. So it would be better to have a yellow glass than a blue or green or something. That's what I would say. But also these compounds form and accumulate in all healthy eyes. I have some of this material, you have some of this material, but it's also formed in abundance in some forms of retinal degeneration, for instance, recessive Stargardt disease. So it also does play a role in retinal degenerations. So it's important to be aware of it.
Which one? You're talking about the lipofuscin or the blue light?
The lipofuscin,
Light-
because it becomes abundant in some forms of retinal degeneration, it's important to be aware of this, that it can be damaging. Yeah.
So lipofuscin is not just a simple guide that in the certain degenerative condition, it might have some bad effect.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And what is the relationship with lipofuscin and blue light?
Well, these compounds are fluorescent compounds, and they also absorb wavelengths primarily in the blue, or you could say that their maximum absorption is in the blue range. Blue light is also more high energy.
So the blue light accelerates the accumulation of lipofuscin?
No. It can form from light at all wavelengths, but in terms of its damaging effect, the damaging effect is occurs more from the blue wavelengths. So the lipofuscin, once it forms, can absorb light in the blue range, and the absorbance of light sets off photooxidative processes that are damaging.
So you have said at the beginning that lipofuscin is not a bad guy.
No,
No, but it's a bad guy, but it's not harmful.
No, it's harmful.
It's harmful. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now I
yeah.
understand. It's
Yeah,
harmful,
yeah.
especially when the lipofuscin receives the blue light.
Yeah.
Then it's the reactive oxygen species. is
Yeah, it can
produced.
form reactive oxygen species.
I see.
Yeah.
So, so there was a paper that blue light degenerate, right, the retina. So that's a reason that the mass media responded.
Well, I mean, these compounds accumulate in our eyes. They are sensitive to blue light, and so, particularly in some forms, as I just said before, particularly in some forms of retinal degeneration, where these compounds form in greater abundance, it probably is important to protect the eye from high levels of blue light.
I see.
Yeah.
In Japan, that blue light protection is getting popular. Is that popular in the United States too?
I guess it's acknowledged by some people. I don't know if it's widespread. It's not that one should scare people.
I see.
About
Yeah,
this.
I think so. I agree.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not that one should scare people. It's like UV light, and we protect our lens by using UV sunglasses. So it would be the same thing, that you could extend the protection beyond the UV and extend the protection into the blue range too.
As you know, blue light is also related to circadian rhythm entrainment.
Yes, that's right.
So, from that point of view,
Yeah.
the blue light is necessary at
Yes,
daytime.
that's what some people say. It's true.
So,
Yeah.
do you
Well,
agree?
yeah. But I mean, I don't. I certainly have read all of those reports. I understand it. I appreciate it. So it's I guess one has to obtain some balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A balance, yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, from your research, do you have something to say to the audience of our journal? Is there any anti-aging aspect? What is the
you know,
most important for keeping the eye healthy for aged people?
Yeah, I would say wearing, when they're outside in bright sunlight, they should wear sunglasses. Not just UV blockers, but they should extend into reduce, not eliminate, but reduce the blue wavelengths by using, having yellow tinted glasses. The other thing is that the damaging processes are photooxidative processes, and so having a diet that is rich in antioxidants, vitamin E, it would be very helpful, and in fact is something you should be doing anyway, right? You should be eating having healthy food. That would be my only recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. So in addition to the UV protection, blue light protection under the very bright condition, and also the food factors to protect.
Right. So you have my contact information. Right?
Yeah, she has. So
Okay.
So
Thank
can
you
I?
so much.
Yeah, I'd like to take a picture real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
And could you please sign here?
So what am I?
Just sign below your name. It's a very shiny, bright new fragrance. And did you need your own copy of that?
Sure.
This is how the money is being done. Okay, we'll just take a quick photo.
Yes, please.